Hi, this is Cheryl with Peace and Power Movement. I wanted to share a movement exploration that might be really helpful for you if you're recovering from broken ankle, dealing with maybe some of the limited range of motion in terms of flexing your foot or extending your foot. Often these surgeries include sort of pins and plates, and it can really change um, the way that your ankle, can move through its range of motion, especially as you're recovering. And so one of the nice little things in this exploration is that it kind of sets up a way for you to balance, the use of the muscles on the front of your foot. So what helps you pull your foot up to flex, the muscles along the bottom of your foot and your leg that allows you to point, and does it in a motion which has you contract and lengthen in terms of the fold of your knees and your hamstrings, to activate and move all of those parts of you all at once. Um, I would sort of say this is a good thing to start on once you've gotten through the sort of basic core kind of physical therapy strengthening stage. Once you're past, healing, your swelling has gone down. I would not do this if you're really just newly past the injury, newly past the surgery. You need more time to recover and lighter challenges to start this motion. So please take that caution in mind if you're choosing to work with this. But I recommend, doing this, kneeling on a couch or a chair or some bench where you have something to hang on to. I don't have a setup that allows me to film quite in that way, so I'm gonna just work with my own balance, but having something there you can hang on to takes that element away. And so the first sort of piece that I want to look at is from here, you have your feet hanging over, and it allows you to go through a flexion and an extension with both feet without any gravity happening. And so, what I pair that with, if we just start with the left foot, is to do this motion as you start to sit back on your heels. And so the goal is to keep the kind of motion of the foot controlled and steady. And you don't need to go all the way down, but pairing this motion of sitting on your heels with this repetition, listening to yourself as you go, so you can support this movement. And helpful to do this one foot and then the other so that you can really listen to how that works on both legs, assuming you have one that's in recovery and one that's healthy. Another variation, of course, you can do both together. I'm not going to show that though, because I really like the alternating one. And so again, go at a speed that allows you to feel what you're doing as you descend and then as you come back up. And, I can already feel like I tend to have fairly tight muscles on the front of my shins. I'm already feeling the impact of this work doing this. You can also play a little bit with speed. So doing a super slow descent and alternating movement is its own kind of experience. So coming up 10%, 20%, 30%, all the way up is a special kind of intensity to work with that. The final one that can be quite helpful, as we're doing this movement, it's a working of our hamstrings, is to come off center. So rather than my sit bones going to my heels, I'm going to send my right sit bone towards my left heel. So I'm a little bit off center as I flex and extend my feet and then go down to the other side. Just so you're working and coordinating this with your outer and inner hamstrings. And so the goal, of course, with this, whichever variation you're doing, to keep your movement smooth, whatever degree of ease you can find, and to keep it continuous so that whatever you're doing in your lowering or lifting doesn't change the rhythm of your feet. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Thanks for tuning in and have a great movement day.